Hey guys, this is Camfrey15 and the Red Wolf, joined again for another One Piece arc review. Ready for this week? Because this week is a pretty big week in terms of an arc.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't believe it's sitting right there and you haven't pressed the like button. Press it now.
Anyways, we're here to talk about, last time we talked about the Romance Dawn arc and the Orange Town Island arc. Here, we're here to talk about the Syrup Village arc, which is Usopp's introduction into the series, and the Baratie arc, which is Sanji's introduction to the series. So let's get to it. So hold on, my speaker is not working.
Uh, could that be why you're kind of buffering now?
Hold on, let me see.
Okay, you're good.
All right, hold on for a second, guys. Sorry, guys. Something came up on the Zoom call. Don't know what that was about, but okay. Anyways, we're here to talk about those two arcs. So let's get to it because one of these arcs, which we're going to talk about, is the Syrup Village arc, which is the Usopp introduction arc. I know this is not a lot of people's favorite arc, but personally, I liked it when I first watched it.
Yes, decent.
So essentially, this is when we get introduced to the story. Now, Luffy and Zoro have Nami accompanying them in a role of, I'll see how things go and maybe I'll join your pirate crew. But right now, she's kind of just really a strangler.
Mm-hmm.
So
Taking,
go ahead.
taking all the money from them, I guess.
Yes. Now we start off the arc in this village, which is Syrup Village, and we just see somebody just yelling, "Hey, run, run! The pirates are coming! The pirates are coming!" Like it's that one fairy tale, the boy who cried wolf, essentially.
Yeah, apparently.
Um, what were you saying?
I said apparently.
Yeah, so Usopp is like playing the role of the boy who cried wolf. Obviously, as you all know the story. Well, I forgot the story, but it was the guy who called wolf and kind of lied to the townspeople, and then he ended up getting eaten by the wolf, I think.
I guess. Yeah, I think you did. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the thing is, he's doing this, and the townspeople don't like when he does this. So, and it's explained he's been doing this almost every day for his life, and he just does it because he does it, and nobody knows why he does it. You have any thoughts about Usopp's little funny business?
I guess. I guess that's one way for people to have fun. I guess.
Anyways, he has three, I guess you can say, childhood friends. Carrot, and not Carrot the bunny. Carrot before Carrot the bunny ever existed. Onion, and then who was the last guy? It was
I,
Carrot, Onion.
I forgot. I forgot all their names. So
This is the thing about One Piece, guys. You just forget. Actually, hold on for a quick second. I got the manga on me. So I'll pause the video and come back right now. Actually, before we talk about Syrup Village, I was actually skimming over the manga for a few seconds, and we actually forgot about Gaimon, the guy who was stuck in the treasure chest.
but wait, didn't that come after the introduction of Usopp?
No, in the manga that actually came before.
Hmm. Okay.
Anyways, that's the we get the introduction to Gaimon. I'm not gonna talk most about it, but essentially the dude used to be on a pirate crew, and let's just say he thought there was treasure, and he ended up getting stuck in a treasure chest.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask me how. Don't ask me why. And how he is somehow still stuck in this treasure chest. No idea.
And to that consequence, his pirate crew left him and stuff.
Yeah. Also on that same exact island, he kind of befriended these weird looking animals that have unique designs, which is like a half of one animal. Like there was like one half pig, half dog, I believe. I was like, what am I looking at? It reminded me of Long Ring, Long Land arc. I don't want to talk about that. But anyways, he goes on to mention the point how there's like this treasure that trying to get. There's this treasure on top of this rock. So because Luffy, Nami, and Zoro are there, Luffy actually goes up. He gets to a treasure chest, but there's nothing in there. So yeah, at the end of these little mini, they ask, hey, do you want to come with us? And we can maybe take you back to the shore or you join or something like that. He's like, no, I want to with the animals. So yeah.
Sorry, you were kind of buffering.
Oh, my bad. What part was it buffering on?
I lost you, man. Okay, just keep going. I think I got what you were saying, anyways.
Oh well, I'll rephrase it again. But anyways, Luffy asked him if he wanted to join him, but he then goes on to say, he's like, I can't really stay here on the island with these animals because they're my friends and stuff like that. And that's how the arc ended off. So yeah. That was one quick little thing. And right now I'm looking at the manga right now to see Usopp's little buddies and stuff like that. Here we go. So his childhood are carrot, onion, and pepper.
Carrot, onion, and pepper. Okay.
Yes. Don't ask me why one of his friends' name is a spice instead of another vegetable. But okay. Anyways, they go talk on about having fun and stuff like that until Onion comes on and he's like, pirates are coming. But the difference is there really are pirates that are coming. The bad part is they don't know if it's Luffy and the others. So Usopp, who is what we might call a bold-faced liar, pretends to act when Luffy and Zoro and Nami come ashore. He pretends like he has 1,000 men or 10,000 men, I think he said. But essentially, a crazy amount of people. And he has freaking flag just long behind these bushes and stuff like that. And he's starting Luffy, but Luffy's like, well, if you're gonna draw your pistol, you do know what happens if you do that against a pirate. And then, luckily enough, Usopp just dropped the little pea gun shot. Otherwise, he might have really got effed up.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, they kind of befriend. Anyways, Nami kind of tells that Usopp's lying because she one by one like breaks down his life. Like, how she know? She's like, you just told. You know, got my men. He's like, there are only 3 of them, and they're like, she knows. And then they later run off. So obviously that's Nami with her little cat burglar tricks. So she obviously knows things that Usopp would set up. It was hilarious. So yeah. So the next thing we go is Usopp takes him to this diner. They eat and stuff like that. So the thing is, why Luffy, Zoro, and Nami came upon Usopp's little village is they're looking for a ship. Because earlier, before we start off, Nami mentions like, so you do know if you guys are gonna be pirates, we're gonna need a bigger ship than little dinghies and stuff like that. So they you know anything that can steer a ship essentially? Like, I don't know. Actually, I really right now.
You're buffering. You're buffering.
I'm buffering again. Hold on for a second. Again, sorry for that. I had to move somewhere else so the cutting out doesn't affect things. I also didn't ask you, your notifications on your phone aren't there, so they don't affect you. Okay. Anyways, we're here to, so anyways, they're looking for a ship. Usopp just bails because he has to go do something and stuff like that. So Denzel, you should remember this specific character because the funny thing is onion, pepper, and carrot all go into the room, which was very funny. I think Denzel, if you remember this.
Like the I said this face. Pause the video, please. Okay, as I was saying, so yeah, onion, carrot, and pepper walk in. They were wondering like, what did they do to Usopp and Captain Usopp and stuff? And Zoro was like, can't you guess? We ate him.
I swear that was hilarious. And they're like, ah,
They're cannibals.
you're cannibal. And the funny part is they're looking at me when they say that, and she's like, "Are you little idiots?" It was funny. That was hilarious. But Luffy does go on to ask those three, if there's anybody out there that can spare a ship. So obviously, Denzel, you know this character.
It was either Kaya. It was Kaya, right?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how'd it go again? Sorry about that.
Wow, this man really doesn't remember. But anyways,
it's been
Luffy
ages.
asked carrot, onion, and pepper if there's someone that can give him a ship. They say, well, there is this girl named Kaya that can, but because she's very rich. But the only thing is she's very sickly ill. In the meantime, we see Usopp going over to Kaya's place. Now I think you can go on and explain what he does there.
Oh yeah, he starts telling her tall tales to make her feel better.
Mm-hmm. Then later Carrot, Onion, and Pepper, as well as Luffy and the others, they all actually show up at her place as well by Gum rocketing there. And as he's telling his little, I guess you can say, lies, and even even Carrot says like, yeah, Usopp tells these lies to her because she's so sick to make her feel good and make her feel better and stuff like that. So Usopp, even though he is somewhat doing a bad thing in terms of lying, is doing it for a good reason, to make somebody laugh. And we also see from Kaya that we see the introduction to her butler character. If Denzel would like to do the hand motion for me.
I must admit, he had me fooled when I first met him.
I think he had every new guy fooled.
Yeah, wait, so he had you fooled when you first met him?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Kuro.
Or what we'll call him at first. Well, what his butler name is called, Clawhador.
Clawhador. Such a grandiose, over-the-top name for someone so twisted.
Anyways, Clawhador doesn't like the fact that Usopp talks to Kaya, and he kind of tries to shun him away, which leads into the next scene. After Luffy asks Kaya, like, hey, could you spare like a good guy a ship? But that's when Clawhador comes out, and let's just say instead of just saying, look, you guys need to leave and get up out of here, he kind of embarrasses them.
Yeah.
Really, Usopp.
And also pretty much insults his father, if I remember. I remember that.
And even before that, we find out that Usopp's father is in Shanks's crew, and Luffy knew of, well, obviously Yasopp, because he couldn't shut up talking about Usopp when Luffy was younger. So that's how Luffy, the moment he's like, oh yeah, you must be Usopp, aren't you? Which, my only question is this, like, the only way you could possibly know where that's Usopp, that's the only thing that I guess made me question this. The fact, well, you would have to know what island Yasopp's from. I don't know. They never explain it. Luffy just goes on to say, oh, you must be, you're Usopp, aren't you? You're Yasopp's son. So yeah, that's my only thing. Anything you
Mm,
want to add to that?
no, not really. I mean, yes, they didn't really explain it, but I don't really. I mean, then again, there's a lot of things that they don't really explain. So
Yeah. But yeah, but going back to what we were saying, or what Denzel was saying, Claw Hador, instead of being a honest, nice butler, kind of insults Usopp and his dad and really his ideals, which was kind of messed up.
yeah,
To the point even Kaya was like, Claudor, stop this! And stuff like this. And then what does our good boy Usopp do in terms of standing up for what he believes in?
pretty much attacks Clawdor.
Yeah.
One
It
punch.
Yeah, and Claudia's like, see, you're like a pirate. You're like your father. Nothing, just common trash essentially. So it's kind of this dude's kind of mean. Also,
Mhm.
in the meantime, we see some, let me just say, some Jackson clone trying to do the moonwalk, or the famous
That's a
Michael Jackson.
that's an insult to Michael Jackson, and I know because I am a Michael Jackson fan. That's an insult.
Which we later find out his name is Django. And he's, let's just say, a hypnotist. Anyways, a frustrated Usopp goes away. Luffy eventually catches up with him, and then after Nami and the others run into Django, which the gag with Django is every time he says his command, he's the one that ends up falling asleep for some strange reason, which is hilarious.
Yeah, everybody finds a way to like just reverse it.
So anyways, while Luffy and Usopp are there at the little, I guess you could say, cove area on top of this cliff, they see Clawhador and Django talking. And this is when you get the revelation. Take it
that
away.
that well, Koro up to this point when he first met Kaya, he's been plotting to kill Kaya, and now Usopp is like, I don't know, starting to well, Koro spotted him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Now, before sorry for interrupting you. But essentially, I don't know if Denzel remembers the plan or anything or the plan that Koro had. But
we should put that on bloopers. We should.
anyways, the plan that I don't think you remember his plan, right?
Not exactly.
Okay. Anyways, I got the plan. So his plan was this man waited for 3 years for this plot. 3 years. Now let me ask you a question. You have 3 years being a butler in a rich person's house. You have luxurious living. You probably can do whatever you want as a butler. The only thing you have to help out is with Kaya. And she's treating you nice and everything. Now, please tell me, why would you just want to kill her? You have the life now. Essentially, he wants her riches, which he's been plotting for 3 years, which, Kaya's parents, were obviously killed earlier. And my only question, which is a huge thing a lot of people bring out, is like, why did Kuro have to wait 3 years for this whole entire plan to get ready when you could just kill the defenseless girl, take her riches, and leave?
That's just.
Now, listen, I know that sounds bad, but if we're being honest and real, wouldn't that be the most logical thing to do?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like, I guess you could say this is one of the the low drops of this arc, is the fact that Kuro's plan, Yes, it's supposed to get you for the plot twist. Oh, he's a bad guy. But when you find out his full plan and he's been planning this out for 3 years, you're like, wait, hold on, let me do something. Let me go back. There's really no defenders in this village. You got a sick, weak girl, and you're a butler in there. Either one, you can just steal the riches yourself as the butler and dip, or two, you can just kill the girl and take the riches, or raid the village with your pirate crew much earlier and take over the thing. But he wanted to wait 3 years for this grandiose plan, which later gets foiled entirely.
Wait, wasn't there like a specific reason why he waited 3 years?
No.
Or is it the fact that he grew too much of a bond with Kaya? I don't know.
No, he didn't grow much of a bond. The only excuse he gives is the fact that he was tired of being a freaking pirate, which still makes no sense when you're being a butler in luxurious living.
Yeah.
I will say this. I like Kuro, but now going back and looking at this, Kuro is a flawed character. His plan, he's supposed to be, and in this part of the story, in One Piece, he is said to be the smartest character in One Piece entirely, or the smartest character in East Blue. Hell, I think Don Krieg and Arlong are smarter than this guy. Because this dude's plan makes no sense. If you want this girl's riches, kill the girl, take the riches, and move on and leave the village. Or take over the village entirely. I don't know why, but you're very smart, Mr. Catman.
As he says it sarcastically.
And yeah, he plans this. Essentially, he's gonna have his remaining crew members come aboard the shore, insert village, raid the village, and essentially that's when he's gonna get Kaya or Django to hypnotize Kaya to sign this, I guess, waiver. Which again, why do you need her to sign a waiver instead of just killing her right then and there? No clue. Ding, ding, ding. Honestly, the more, huh?
Why would they need a contract just to kill someone?
That's what I'm saying. Okay, and then this is the crazy thing. They're pirates. Okay. Jesus, now I'm starting to see why people don't really freaking like this arc, man. I still like it, but damn, when you rip apart the story of this arc, you just see the flaws here.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a pirate, what's the point in signing something official when you can just take it? We're led to believe pirates can do whatever they want and whatever they want. That's the reason why Luffy became a pirate, so he could be free and do whatever he wants, and no one can tell him what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But Kuro, on the other hand, is thinking like he's like some lawyer gonna write over somebody's stuff to give it to somebody else. Okay. I might actually have to change my Syrup Village arc in terms of rankings. Jesus, when you really expose the flaws of this arc, it's really bad. Yeah, he needs a waiver from Kaya to take her stuff legally. Although he's a pirate, he can take it whenever he wants. Because one, there's no Marines in the area. Heck, there's not even a Marine base deployed here. So don't know why, which is another reason why he go ahead.
Could Kuro be the reason? Maybe he set that all up for some, I don't know, weird reason.
I have no clue. But anyways, the way how he got to Kaya's mansion is, again, he hated being a pirate, which, why did you become a pirate in the first place? He was always getting sick and tired of the Marines chasing him, but that's the job of the Marines. They're supposed to take down the pirates. Mm-hmm. No clue. So he essentially fakes his death by getting Django to hypnotize somebody, pretend like he's Kuro. He ends up faking his death. He actually ends up at Syrup Village as like pretending to be like some kind of weakly deranged man that, you know, has been at sea for like months. Kaya's family takes him in. I believe he actually ends up killing the parents at some point in time, or they come down with sickness themselves. I forgot that part. It was one of those two. And then he ends up becoming the butler, and then that leads on to what we're here now. So again, like Denzel said, Usopp overhears this. He knows they have to stop it, but what is the one thing that Kuro tells Usopp that he thinks he can do, but it won't happen?
Become a hero? I don't know.
It was the part when he was saying like, it was the part when he was saying like, well, Usopp was saying, "I'm going to tell everybody that you're doing this." Still doesn't ring a bell. Because Kuro tells him something that, oh, the people won't listen to you because you're a
Pirate.
liar. But okay.
Oh.
Wow, you really do not remember that part. Man, short-term memory loss, my friend?
Dude, it's been ages. But still, that's no excuse because I should have known.
Yeah. Anyways, so Usopp, he actually goes to the village and he tries to tell people, but what are the one thing that people aren't doing?
Listening? I don't know.
Well, of course they're not listening because they say you're stop lying. So they even attack him. And then what does Usopp do to try to tell Kaya? If you remember what happens in that.
He tried to take her away to safety, but Kaya just didn't believe him this time. And
that slap she gave him was so heartbreaking. I was like, the girl my guy likes got slapped. Anyways, and the thing is, in this scene too, we find out from her that she always knew Usopp was lying from the start of their little friendship. She just thought it was completely like insane that, like, why would you tell a bold-faced lie that Kalahador would do this? It makes no sense. A few minutes later, well, a day later, because this is gonna take because the next thing takes place a whole day later. So obviously, a sulking Usopp doesn't know what to do, and hell, he's at this point is like, well, I guess if I'm gonna have to die for my village, I'll do it to protect everybody. And that's when Luffy, Zoro, and Nami all decide to help him, and with this problem. Now they meet up at this one dock of the sea, but they find out that it's the wrong dock. So they go to the other opposite dock. Luffy ends up getting lost along with Zoro. Well, actually, fun fact with Zoro and Nami. There's this tar they actually set up, but I think you remember that part, don't you?
Yeah, the way Nami just bails Zoro after.
Let's just say Zoro's like, I'm gonna kill you, Nami. So shockingly, you would think Zoro and Luffy would get there first, but no. The two weakest members of the crew at this point in time get there first. And they're going up against Kuro's men, and essentially they set out all these traps that Kuro's men are pathetic at like stopping. Hell, even before this all happens, Kai actually gives Kuro a nice gift, like some new glasses. Some new glasses so he can do his little eyeglasses thing. And you know, the other butler, the one that looks like a sheep with the sheep hair or whatever, he gets cut up.
I don't know how he survived.
Okay, yeah. That's another thing. Another One Piece character that should have died but didn't die. Oh my god. So I'm keeping count. Butler man of Kaya who should have died but didn't die. And he was on the floor for an entire night bleeding out. You would have died because of loss of blood if that was real life. Now Koro actually went up to Kaya's room and he actually put his little cat katana glove thing, which is a pretty unique weapon. I gotta give him that. I have to give him that. Gloves with katanas on them.
Wolverine.
Essentially. No, he freaking looks at Kaya's dead body, or her sleeping body, and I'm like, bro, just kill her and get it over with. You already hit her butler, and heck, I think even he broke the glasses, which was very heartbreaking. Like, this girl does all these nice things for you, and you just show no sympathy for her.
Mm-hmm.
No sympathy at all. I'm like, this guy's cold. Later, what is it? Going back to the fight scene, Ussop, my God, takes a beating. There's this one, I forgot what he got hit with, but he got hit hard. And this dude got his typical broken nose, and he's bleeding from the forehead. And Nami's over here shocked as all get up. She's like, what are you, my goodness. Now Kuro, on the other hand, is just chilling at the manor, and he's just waiting for his people to raid the village, so he can make, Kaya sign the waiver and everything. But he's like, this is taking forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like every other freaking villain, or like how Thanos said at the end of Avengers Age of Ultron, when he grabs the Infinity Gauntlet, I'll do it myself. So Kuro eventually walks all the way over there. I don't remember if this is when Luffy and... No, this is actually when Luffy and Zoro actually get back. They're both pissed off at Ussop and Nami. Now, I think Zoro's more rightly to be pissed off at Nami than Luffy's to be pissed off at Usopp. But I digress. Things ensue, and there's also these two cat brothers called the Meow Band brothers that end up fighting Zoro. That fight gets intense and stuff like that. And the thing is, Zoro's fighting with, like, I believe it was one sword or two swords.
Yeah.
And he was having trouble with them. Nami managed to give him the third sword because, things happen. Kuro actually later shows up. This dude, oh my goodness.
I'll never forget this scene.
Go ahead. Go. Oh my God. We'll get to that in a second. Now, in the meantime, too, Kai also wakes up and she's wondering what the hell's going on because she sees that her butler is actually the butler that looks like a sheep, is hurt. And the butler that looks like a sheep says, it was Clawhador who did it. Usopp wasn't telling the truth. He's a pirate. And stuff like that. So, to get the information from Kuro himself, this dumb girl actually goes to the battlefield. So then Kuro turns around, and it looks like Kuro's gonna freaking kill her. But Usopp takes the brunt of the attack, which leaves this man like legit paralyzed for the rest of this arc.
Mm-hmm.
Because he takes a beating, which is the trend with Usopp. He just takes a beating. Which I'll give him his credit for. Now Kuro turns around, she's like, oh, Miss Kaya, I'm sorry this is all happening. And she's like, Clawhador, why are you doing all of this? And this man, I don't know if you remember this part, Denzel, but this hurt me inside. When Kuro was like, Miss Kaya, we did so many things together. I took you out to the store. I went out to dinner with you. We've done all these amazing things together. And then he's like, and I never enjoyed one bit of it. I was like,
Now I remember.
Denzel, when you heard that, how were you feeling when he said all that nice stuff? And then he just like, well, you know what? I never fucking enjoyed it.
That was my Super Saiyan moment.
And that's when you see Kai like, give the typical One Piece eyes where the eyes are shaded out and you see the big black pupils and stuff like that.
Mm.
And just to hear this, it must have broken her inside.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give Kuro his credit. He played it off like a champ. He could have actually probably thought about all those moments and like, you know what? This is actually really nice. I guess I can get used to this. But no, the dude's like, screw it. You're dying today, young lady. And I was like, oh, brother. So, he's like, well, guess what? You did your job for me. Now I just have to get you. So he orders Django to go after her. In the meantime, Luffy over here being hypnotized, pretending that he's so much more stronger because Luffy's an idiot. He actually looked at the freaking hypnotizing thing and he's like, ah! He freaking takes apart Kuro's ship. I kid you not, about to slam it on everybody. Django puts him to sleep. So he's knocked out. The Meow Band brothers are one. They have to finish Zoro in the next 5 minutes before Kuro kills them because that's the thing that Kuro showed up. He's like, listen, that's it. Everybody's dying. I don't care if you're a friend, ally, or enemy. You're dying. Which scares everybody and goes to show this guy, do you want to live alone?
What does he want?
I seriously don't know. I'm like, bro, if you just want to live alone, I'm like, look, I know you're surrounded by idiots, but my God, you really just want to be alone to yourself. I have no idea what Kuro's problem is with wanting to be alone, but okay. Yeah. Anyways, Kuro's over here threatening people. Nami takes some crazy arm, injury to the arm. Zoro manages to beat the Meow Band brothers. Django is starting to go after Kaya. And Luffy eventually reawakens thanks to Nami stepping on him. Literally saves Nami's life because of it. And like I said, we get the fight between Kuro and Luffy, which is, I think, a pretty decent fight. Now, Zoro actually takes Usopp to go save Kaya. They end up saving Kaya thanks to the antics of Carrot, Onion, and Pepper being there to, I guess, stall Django from doing it. They managed to save Kaya, so yeah. Now, Denzel hinted at it, so go ahead with what you were about to say.
What was I about to say?
He was doing the one thing that you remember about the one special move he was doing.
Things started to get a little creepy once Kuro took a certain stance. I think it probably looks better if I'm standing up, but it's a little bit like. And that's when he suddenly.
And this dude literally is attacking his own crew doing this. Now, one of his attacks, I kid you not, is called the pussyfoot maneuver, which apparently he goes at lightning speed and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's a thing. Luffy eventually beats him and knocks him out and kind of teaches him a lesson. Is like, you need to value your crew members because, Kuro doesn't value his crew members. He doesn't treat them with respect. He doesn't like them. And the thing about Luffy is he values his friends and stuff like that. So he ends up beating Kuro. The day is saved. Kai is saved. Albeit mentioned, the village knows nothing about what's going on. Yeah. The arc ends off with, really, we get, I guess a little bit of a backstory on Usopp. It's definitely not the most fleshed out backstory of the Straw Hat Pirates if you go over each backstory. He probably has the weakest backstory out of the Straw Hat Pirates because the only thing I remember from his backstory was his mom, and that's it. Nothing else, really. I was like, oh, so his mom died, and he's all alone.
Well, we can see the family relation at least.
Oh, yes.
Hence the long nose.
Yes, yes, yes. Kaya ends up giving Usopp the ship, and are giving Luffy and Usopp the shop. And the one thing is, we get the funny gag of how Usopp always calls him Captain Usopp, but right
I get,
before,
I get to be captain, right?
no, I'm the captain. So you get the whole little banter. Heck, even Usopp thinks he's gonna go on his own journey by himself, but Usopp's like, bro, just get on. You're a part of us now. And he's like, yes, I'm finally welcomed. So yes, we get the introduction to a new Straw Hat Pirate in Usopp. Now Usopp, I like Usopp's character a lot, especially by the time we get to Water 7, his character really flourishes. But
Mm-hmm.
other than that, I like his character. In terms of backstory, like I said, I think honestly it's the weakest backstory out of the Straw Hat Pirates. They haven't done the typical extended backstory thing. Like they've recently been giving Straw Hat Pirates as of Whole Cake Island. Um, so yeah, and we'll get to talking about Sanji soon. But I like him. He's a character that, even though he is a scaredy cat, when he has to get the job done, he'll be a man about it and he'll stand up about it. And Usopp's goal is to be a brave warrior of the sea. Again, I don't know what you can call achieving that goal is, but
He's he's doing a decent job so far. I must say.
I will say, like I said, his goal isn't the most, I guess, one you can achieve, but I guess it's something. It's better than, well, I don't know.
He's also a pretty good sniper.
Oh yes, that is his thing. He is a really good sniper. So I said my things on Usopp. Anything else you wanted to add to Usopp that you like about him?
Mm, pretty much it. Like I like how his character develops later on. Like from being that timid yet lying lying slingshot user to being pretty manly.
And I know, and Denzel actually saw One Piece Stampede just last week, and he saw what Usopp did in that movie.
Mm, yeah.
You know,
I was actually surprised he was able to pull that off.
yeah, to stand up to frickin' Douglas Bullet like that with a cannon straight at his face.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, he could have really saved Luffy's hide late in that fight. Because if it wasn't for that um attack he did, I think Luffy gets pummeled by Bullet and it's all over.
Mm-hmm. Should we even be
Yeah. Now go ahead.
should we even be talking about the movie yet? Yet.
Um, Not really, but who knows? Maybe we'll talk about it later. Um, Anyways, we also get the introduction to two new characters, which are buddies of Zoro, which are the two bounty hunters, Johnny and Yosaku. Now, I forgot when they were first introduced. They ran into them, I believe. Oh, yes, now I remember how they ran into them.
Yeah, they pretty much attacked their ship pretty much. Yeah, and
And
Luffy's
then, go ahead.
and Luffy's all, stop destroying my ship. So
And essentially, I believe it was Johnny who was the sick one, or he got seasick and he looked like he was about to freaking
yeah,
kill over.
yeah, I think it was him.
And stuff like that. We also get introduced to another new marine character called Full Body. Before he becomes a susceptible love slave to Hina later on, along with Django, because that's what happens to Django. Django actually joins the Marines. Um, Also, actually, speaking about Kuro, it's not explained what happened with Kuro. Now, Kuro, he's shown later on in the series, but in a cameo way, but he's off on the seas being a pirate again for some reason. And that's the last you see of him.
Maybe he treats his crew a little better now.
I don't know. You'd think the guy would just honestly retire as being a pirate, but okay. Um, yeah. Anyways, yeah, because they're also shooting cannons too as well because they're practicing cannon fire, and this is what leads into Baratie. So they fire one of the cannon fires at Full Body's marine ship. Luckily, they don't get attacked by it, and even though Full Body sees, oh, you're pirates. Well, I'll leave you alone for now because he has this really hot girl with him. He's about to take out to dinner. And again, Luffy's little antics of firing cannons comes back to bite him in the butt because he fires at the Baratie and he kind of damages it.
Yep.
And this is when he runs into old man Zeph, and Zeph tells him, what, Denzel?
Specifically what?
Well, obviously, he tells him that he tells him that
Why am I even here?
he tells him that in order to repair the damages, you're gonna have to work for me.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially. So yeah. And this is when we get introduced to Sanji because Full Body gets on the Baratie. And the thing about Sanji is I think we all know what Sanji likes.
He likes them females.
So Sanji is your typical shonen character. Well, he's your Yamcha in a sense of all over the women are, I guess you can say, Brock from Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Where he just sees a pretty lady, he hits on them immediately. Now he is hitting on Full Body's, I guess, lady friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she's obviously Full Body is like, bro, back the f off, my guy. And what is the one thing that Sanji does not like, or the one thing we don't find out about Sanji when it pertains to food?
That the food goes to waste. Or yeah.
So Full Body was complaining of this, I guess, little gnat in the food, and he was like, "I want this to be redone for me." And Sanji takes offense to this. He's like, "You're gonna eat your damn soup, otherwise, or else." Hold on for a second. I hear my phone ringing. Okay, sorry for that. Sorry for that interruption, guys. One of my boys were calling me. Anyways, um, the thing. So going back to what I was saying, from what I remember, we all, like Denzel said, Sanji does not like food going to waste. If not, he gets very, and I mean very pissed off about that. So he tells him, like, you're gonna eat this damn soup, whether or not there's a bug in it, and you're not putting it to waste. Now, we later find out the reason why, you know, he doesn't like food being put to waste as well. One, his extended backstory, which we're definitely not talking about here, and a little bit to do with his backstory and pertains to him and Zeph. So he ends up beating the ever living, knowing full well that it's a Marine representative. He beats Full Body to Kingdom Come. And man, was that hilarious.
Yeah, definitely.
Sanji is
and satisfying, I must say.
Oh, of course. Sanji is also known as the one chef that just, if you piss him off, he beats you up for it. And let's just say his co-workers don't like it. Because there's these two guys that really nag on him. I forgot their names, but they nag on him. Zeph also is another guy that nags on him and stuff like that. Now, Luffy is also a chore boy. So he's working there. Usopp, Nami, and Zoro, they're all there. And actually, fun fact, even before this, now we find out Johnny and Yosaku are bounty hunters. Now, they do have these sheets of bounties. Now, Nami's looking through these sheets of bounties, and then she sees something that catches her eye. And she's like, And you see something that leads into the next arc after this. And she's quiet about it on purposefully.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
And I think it was like Johnny and Yuzuko asked her like, "Hey, what you looking at?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. I'm fine. I'm fine." Yeah. So we later come to find out, this deranged man who looks like he can die like right now, and he looks like he needs something to eat. Which we later find out this guy's name is Gene.
Oh yeah, Gene.
Huh?
He's a confusing character, I gotta say.
And not Gene from Hunter x Hunter.
I
know. I know. I just had to plug in a Hunter x Hunter thing. Yes, I watch it too. But he comes in at begging for food. Now, the other chefs are like, "Okay, do you have money?" And he's like, "No, I don't have nothing." And he's like, "Well, that's too bad. Get up out of here. You can't be eating up in here." But Sanji, a few minutes later, gives him food. And stuff like that. It was nice of him. And the thing is, Sanji's also, another thing about Sanji's belief is he feels like no man should not go, like every man should, eat, whether they're poor or not, and they shouldn't go hungry. It's a nice little thing that Sanji's got. So I'm like, okay, his character's nice. He seems like, other than pissing him off and the lady stuff, he's actually a genuine good guy, know. And Luffy sees this and he's like, "Hey, you want to join my crew?" And he's like, "Well, nah." Huh?
He's like, huh?
And he politely declines. Luffy's like, "Nah, I'm just gonna stay here to cook. I owe too much to this place anyways." But he brings up the fact that what is his thing that he wants to do?
See the all blue.
So that's his goal. We later find out when he officially joins the Straw Hat Pirates is he wants to see the all blue, which I don't know if you remember what the all blue is, right?
Not word for word, but I guess my biggest guess is when he met those mermaids.
Well, I know what it is.
Which we'll later talk about.
It has something to do with that, but essentially the all blue, from how Sanji describes it, is it's where all the four seas, which is the East Blue, the West Blue, the North Blue, and the South Blue. It's a sea where all the fishes from that area are just in this one area altogether from all the different four seas, which is really interesting to where that is. Like, so far, there are speculations saying maybe the all blue is near the island of Raftail or Laugh-Tail, which is the island holding the One Piece. That could be something. Who knows? We have, till this point in time, we don't know where the all blue is at. My guess, like I said, maybe it could be at Raftail. It only makes sense. That would be near the island of the One Piece, since it's such a mysterious island.
I guess.
Like, other than that, the only other place I would see it would be like if somehow you could I guess fit it inside Reverse Mountain, but Reverse Mountain is a mountain that has currents going upstream instead of into downstream. So yeah. Anyways, he gives Gene the food, Gene the food, and Gene, like Denzel said, is an interesting character, and he eats it and he's all full. He's like, "Thank you for this kindness. Is it okay if I bring my pirate crew who came from the Grand Line to enjoy some food too, to get them back up to strength?" Which we later find out that's the antagonist of this arc. And stuff like that. So Gene leaves. He does that. Now, a few minutes later, he comes back with that very same pirate crew, which is the antagonist of the arc, and you see a decrepit Don Krieg. who is a very feared pirate who has transversed and sailed the Grand Line. So keep this point in time. This is our first revelations are because in this point, the Grand Line is hinted to be a pirate graveyard where no pirate comes back and returns from, which is haha funny by the time we get to the Grand Line.
Ahaha, ahaha.
It's really some sort of graveyard, huh, Denzel?
After, yeah, that's laughable. Oh man.
We'll talk about the Grand Line when we get into the Grand Line. But you see Don Creek and his crew with a broken down ship. Apparently Don Creek also had millions of men, but he's literally left with like, I guess you can say a few hundreds of men. Now we later find out who the reason why. Now he is fed the food, and that's when he's like, okay, now I'm back in action. Give me your ship. So he tries to take over the Baratie. So this guy is going insane. Now, in the meantime, we're cutting back over to Miss Mysterious Mischievous Nami. And Denzel, I bet you remember this little side plot.
Yeah, more or less. So she pretty much talks to Johnny and what's his face?
Yosoku.
Yosuku, and she she's gonna act like she's gonna take off her clothes and stuff. And so and she asked him to turn around and stuff, and like and wait, they're like, are you really gonna strip here? And she's like, is that all right? And they're like, yes, it's all right. And that's when Nami pulls a fast one and knocks them off the ship. And that's where Nami takes the ship to where she wants to go.
Are the not the Sunny, the Mary, the Going
Yeah,
Mary.
the Going Mary. Rest in peace.
She takes the Going Mary to her village because that bounty she looked at is very integral to her story. So yeah. Now like I said, Don Creed comes and all of a sudden you know, he's just like trying to take over the ship and everything and stuff like that. Now after hearing the news about Nami, the crew decides, okay, let's take care of this issue first, and then we'll catch up with Nami later, and so we can get her ship back. So this is when we find out, because there's this big explosion that happens on the ship, and this is when we find out, who made Don Krieg's armada look like that? And this is when we get introduced to a new tier character.
Top tier character, if I may add.
Who, till this day, we see rare appearances and we don't know his true strength. And that is Red Hawk Mihawk.
Red Hawk Mihawk.
In other words, AKA one of the 7 warlords of the sea, who, we'll talk about the 7 warlords later, because that's explained morely in the Arlong Park arc. But anyways, the interesting thing is, this is the man Zoro wanted to fight because he is the world's greatest swordsman. Well, in the One Piece world as of that point in time. And I think Denzel very much remembers this fight.
Yes. That's where Zoro is really eager to fight him and stuff, because we already know the reason why he's so eager, because he wants to become the strongest sword.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just wanted to ask what that background music was, but it's gone now.
Okay. As I was saying. So yeah, Zoro confronts him, and that's where Mihawk just pulls out a mini sword. because he's like Zoro's all like, why won't you pull out your big sword? And Mihako's all like, because you're not someone worth using it on. And that's where Zoro's all enraged and stuff. But later during that fight, Zoro is piquing like Mihawk's interest, and Mihawk asks, "What is your name, swordsman?" And Rororo no Zoro. And I mean to be the strongest swordsman, I guess. I think that's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Mihawk decided to pull out his
Black Blade.
black blade.
You'll get to this real soon in the Wano arc, but hint for anime only people for the Wano arc. Let's just say that one Zoro episode a few weeks ago, they hint about black blades. So you can also see why Mihawk has definitely his black blade is definitely strong.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they clash, but Zoro takes the damage. But that's where, but even though it seems like Zoro's about to fall right there, he just turns around and he stands like this. Mihawk is all like, "What are you doing?" And Zoro's all like, slashes from behind our swordsman's shame and stuff. And that's where Mihawk is all like, "Admirable." Shing! I talk a lot.
Now, in the meantime, Luffy's watching this fight. And he's like, Zoro! He tries to go in and attack Mihawk later. But Zoro kind of prevents that from happening because he goes on with his speech, and which is a very emotional speech.
Yeah. Is it all right? Something, I guess.
Essentially, word for well, I'm not gonna say word for word, but Zoro kind of, I guess you can say this is when Zoro kind of puts his full commitment to be not only being a pirate, but being essentially Luffy's, his crewmate. On the fact that he swears to Luffy that he'll never lose another fight again. And he caps it off. Jesus, even just talking about it makes me starting to tear up. And he's like, is that okay? King of the Pirates! Which I think you can take that without a shadow of doubt. But like I said, of him giving his full 100% devotion and commitment to Luffy. Because even though he did say he would join his crew, I think this was the moment when he was full in on being a pirate and being, essentially committed to Luffy's crew and, stuff like that. And that's when Luffy gives like, well, of course, I never would want nothing more than the best, which is a nice moment between Luffy and Zoro. And that whole emotional moment was very emotional. Like, just talking about it right now is making me tear up because just hearing that one line was like, damn, this guy really does want to be the best. And that is one of Zoro's moments, which a lot of people really love this arc. The Zoro versus Mihawk thing is a step in Zoro's direction as a character for the better. And it even furthers his promise to Kuina of wanting to be the best swordsman.
Yeah. It's kind of sweet how he's been doing all of this just for Kuina.
Now, Usopp, Zoro, and I think it was Yozaku, they eventually go on ahead to go catch up with Nami, while Luffy's like, I'll stay back because he tells Zeph like, hey, if I beat this Don Krieg guy, sorry, can I be relieved of all the payments I have to do for your ship? And Zeph is like, well, fine, whatever. He's destroying the ship regardless. So he came out as an unannounced attacker. So Luffy and Sanji, step up to the plate and fight. Now, Sanji goes up against this one guy who I call typical, I guess, gay character in Pearl.
I don't know why.
Funny thing is, in the English dub, I think his voice actor is Zarbon's voice actor. And he does play it off like the typical running trend of gay Zarbon in the YouTube community for some reason. Anyways, Pearl, let's just say Sanji looks like he's getting the upper hand on Pearl, but then Pearl freaking takes it to Sanji. Can I just say this? Sanji took some hits in this arc. Hits that no man should have business taking.
Yep.
Pearl, in one instant, gets his two little, I guess, Pearl Ball armor plate things. He smashes, Sanji's head to like, oh my God. I'm telling you, man. If hockey was a thing, he's dying.
Yeah.
Also, there's this ring of fire going on, like legit, not ring of fire. And Sanji eventually beats Pearl with what?
No, go on. I'm listening.
Oh, Sanji's beats Pearl with a very strong kick. And that's the thing about Sanji is his thing is he kicks, which is one, a signature to Zeph because Zeph kicks. But two, I bet you remember the main reason why he kicks.
His hands are only for cooking, not for fighting.
Essentially. Looking at his fight style, it's really intriguing to see that it's just a character that predominantly kicks instead of uses his hands.
Mm-hmm.
I guess in the first few things of Sanji, what did you think?
That's very unique. I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops when I first saw it.
Mm-hmm. Now we come back to let's just say Denzel, what he says the interesting character of this arc.
Yeah.
Mr. Geen.
Yeah. So his so-called pirate captain is telling him to go kill Sanji, right?
Well, before that, he's holding Zeph hostage.
Yeah.
He tells Sanji, "Don't move, or I will kill him." Mm-hmm. Which, when I saw that, I was like, "Really, really? I really thought you were a nice guy. Now we have another Kuro over here."
Mm-hmm. That's where Ging just suddenly had a change in personality and starts trying to kill Sanji and stuff.
So essentially, he kind of tells Sanji, like, listen, just give up. Give us the Baratie, and we'll leave you alone. But Sanji's like, I can't do that. But, Sanji, not retaliating, gets hit by Jean. And Jean has these, like, I guess you could say these dumbbell type of weapon things with these huge ball things that, my God, sometimes hit Sanji and I don't want to know what that feels like, but my God, I think he had to break a rib because there was one time he hit him straight in the gut.
No doubt.
So they get into this crazy fight and Geen, although doesn't want to do this to Sanji, which makes him this really intense, this crazy character. He doesn't want to hurt Sanji because what Sanji did for him earlier. And it comes to the point where he tells Don Krieg, like, yo, I can't do this. He treated me so nice. He gave me that food. I can't kill this man. And he can't bring himself to do it. I'm like, this guy really is an honorable guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when Don Krieg is like, all right, you want to do that? Okay. You won't listen to my orders. You're captain. All right, that's it. So then you see his crewmates put on these gas masks.
Mm-hmm.
We're over here. I'm watching this for the first time. I'm like, what's going on here? So then Krieg, who he doesn't have a devil fruit power. The way he fights is purely because of the gadget and his armor he has on him. He essentially drops like, I guess, a poison grenade, which smokes the entire area. Um, now, Sanji manages to get a gas mask. Luffy gets a gas mask that he's going to use for Jean, but Jean actually puts the gas mask on Luffy later when we find out after the gas clears. And Jean essentially intakes the poison gas, and this dude is poisoned right now, and he's essentially on the verge of dying and stuff like that. So Luffy takes offense to this. Now, before we continue with the Luffy Don Krieg fight, which I thought was a really good fight, we're gonna talk about the Sanji backstory. Now, I know Denzel remembers the Sanji backstory.
Yeah. So it didn't go way too far into Sanji backstory, but it goes to when like Sanji pretty much first met Zeph and stuff. But like
we won't talk about the extended backstory. We'll talk about the extended one when we get to the whole Cake Island arc. But go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like a stormy night somehow, and that's where like Sanji is like all like fighting Zeph after that one crew that he was in like got all wiped out, and Sanji was all begging like, I can't die here. I'm going to see the all blues one day, and that's where Sanji gets knocked into the sea, and Zeph decides to go rescue him. And in doing so, he got stuck. His foot got stuck, and Sanji was going deeper and deeper and deeper. And in order to break free, Zeph had to chop off his own foot.
Now we'll bring it up. I'll bring it up in a few minutes. But if you are reading the One Piece manga, this does not happen in the manga. He does save Sanji. He just doesn't lose his foot in the process of doing that. But go on with the backstory.
So yeah, Zeph saves them, and they are in a deserted island with limited food, and like no nothing else, right? Just
yeah, essentially that's it.
Yeah,
and that's treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, actually, we don't find that out till later.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was about to say. So yeah, Zeph pretty much gave him a small bag of food, and Zeph ends up with a big bag of food. Well, supposedly bag of food. And Sanji goes to a corner, and he snacks on that for like how many days and stuff. And yeah, some of the food was all going bad now, and that's where Sanji is starting to get desperate and stuff, and he goes back to Zeph. He tracked the snake over to the bag. He cuts it open, only to find out that it wasn't actually food. It was all treasure. Sanji found out that Zeph pretty much gave him all the food and stuff, and Sanji's like, why would you save me, and why would you do all this for me and stuff? And Zeph is all, because you had the same dream as I did. Oh man, I'm beat. Keep going.
They do see the ship, and the ship manages to save them, which leads into them making the Baratie. They start out the Baratie together, and you just see like these flashbacks of Sanji hitting on these girls as he was younger, and Zeph doing all this stuff, and he also brings in the aspect of never hitting a woman, which been brought up for a future arc later. I mean, Ennis Lobby, but yeah. Now, the thing that is different in the manga and the anime, the difference in terms of when Sanji finds out that Zeph's foot is gone, this is the difference. Now, in the manga, this is much more I guess you can say, mature and gorier than how it is portrayed in the anime, because obviously anime has certain TV rights of what you can do. Now, in the manga, if you're reading the One Piece manga, you find out, because you're probably questioning, like, okay, if you're watching the anime, it's like, okay, so Zeph gave Sanji all the food. There'd be no way he'd be able to, stay alive for that amount of time, which I believe was like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that. They were on that, I guess, one little island. So in the manga, on how Zeph is managed to even stay, I guess you can say, alive, is in the manga, since he has both feet, because it's different than the anime. In the manga, he cuts off his, I believe it was his left leg, and he eats his own left leg.
Dude, my body is trembling from that thought. My body is trembling from that thought.
I remember when I told you the first time about that, and you were shocked. So yes, the manga depicts a more gorier, type of incident that happened that definitely would probably not even be on TV airways. Like I said, going to the Dragon Ball Super manga, I don't know how they're going to animate the Moro beatdown. Whew. But yeah, when you always read a manga for an anime, 9 out of 10 times it's going to be more gorier than the animated version of that. So yeah. But other than that, everything plays out the same. Now Luffy goes on to face Don Krieg. And the thing that is really interesting about this fight is this. They're fighting on a broken ship, and Luffy's kind of at a disadvantage. One, because of Don Krieg's gadgets that he can just pull out of his ass.
Was?
Well, I'm not wrong. His entire suit of gold is strictly just straight up gadgets. And then the most part is he's fighting on literally next to near water terrain. So, and if you know the thing about devil fruit users is they can't swim.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this fight was very high intense, and I thought the most badass moment of this fight is when Luffy just charges in, knowing that he's gonna get hit by the darts. And then when he gets past the darts, and he's got like darts in his arms, his chest, his legs, Don Krieg pulls up this cape full of spikes. And my God, when I watched this, I was like, damn! Luffy legit punches this man on the side, knowing full well the spikes on this dude's jacket. And he's like, goes through with it, no fear, punches that thing like crazy. I saw that, I was like, this fight is, I'm like, this dude's crazy. This guy's intense. He doesn't give an F. And then that's the one thing later, because Sanji's like, why is he doing all these things? Why? He's just gonna get himself killed. But then that's when Zeb brings up the fact, you see, that's his determination of as a pirate kicking in. His determination and his will to win. And you have to respect a man's, way to do that. Which, is really good. I like this observation by Zeph, because that is the thing about Luffy. He doesn't give up, regardless. He knows, hey, if I get myself into a fight and I die, regardless. Which is a thing about Luffy's character that, it really comes out to me. It's like, this dude knows what he's getting himself into, but regardless, he's going to come at you no matter what. So, yeah. So, there's a part where Luffy looks like he gets caught in this net, and then he manages to gum whip Don Krieg to Kingdom Come. He ends up beating Don Krieg, and the day is saved. The Baratie is saved, and Gene, he actually, gets Don Krieg and the rest of his pirate crew, and they just leave, never to be seen again. But for some reason, people still want to see Gene, although he probably would be dead because of the poison, because he's not cured because of that. He was never cured of the poison.
Mm-hmm.
I even think they mentioned I even think in after it's over, I think they mentioned the fact that I probably only have like a week left to live because of the poison. So yeah. So this arc was really good. And getting to this arc, getting to the end of the arc, we see the emotional goodbye of Sanji to Zeph and the other chefs, of how he makes this soup, which they all think is disgusting, so they can get him to leave, which obviously is a ruse. They know they love his soup because Luffy's like, what are you guys talking about? This soup is really good. But they're like, yuck, this thing tastes like rotten milk or rotten eggs or something. And this pisses off Sanji, which is hilarious. But because of it, it manages for him to go and move on. He joins Luffy's crew. And this is when we get the really touching, emotional goodbye between him and Zeph. And I'll just say it's Sanji saying goodbye to the father he never had.
Sanji, don't get cold.
Go ahead. Oh, that's what he said. That's what he said. And that's when Sanji my man just broke down. He just broke down, and he thanked Zeph for everything. And even at the end, Zeph gave one final tearful goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really emotional end to this really good arc. It's definitely one of the better arcs of One Piece. It's definitely up there. Most people in the One Piece community put Baratie as their favorite arc in the East Blue Sea Saga. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely second. It's definitely second. But my thoughts on this arc was really good. The story was really good. The introduction of Mihawk and the Zoro moment was really good. Sanji's backstory was emotional as hell. Ha ha ha! Wait till next week, guys.
Ha ha ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha! Okay, go on.
I thought Sanji's backstory was emotional. Nami. This arc had a lot of emotions in this, and this is one of the arcs where you could just go back and rewatch it over and over and over and over again, and you just come out satisfied. Your takeaways from this arc, Denzel?
I like it a lot. I don't know if it's gonna be my second, but I like it.
Sanji as a character, even knowing what he later becomes, how do you like him?
Well, at least I respect the fact that he wouldn't hit a woman. And I'll really like his character later on when we talk about it.
Okay. Well, anyways, like we said, Luffy, are the last thing at the end of Baratie arc is we see Nami on the Going Merry arriving at her island, saying, Bellemere, hopefully I'm free. She's like, she makes a mention of the fact that she's like, Bellemere, I just want to be free. And that's kind of where it ends.
Mm-hmm.
So Nami wants to be free. I don't know why. Well, I don't know why, but next week we'll be talking about the arc that got me to fall in love with One Piece, the Along Park arc. And we'll also be talking about the last arc in the East Blue Sea Saga, which is Log Town next Sunday. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to talk about Arlong Park and Log Town. But, yeah. So, how hype are you to be able to talk about those arcs, Denzel?
I'm actually pretty hyped to talk about the Arlong Park arc actually. So
So yeah. Anyways, our East Blue Sea Saga part of the review will be nearly complete by next Sunday. So yeah. So other than that, guys, we're gonna get out of here. We'll see you guys next Sunday for One Piece or One Piece arc reviews of Arlong Park and Logtown to close out the East Blue Sea Saga. So then we can get into the Alabasta Saga. I can't wait for that. Other than that, if you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts on Syrup Village, Baratie, and your thoughts on Ussop or Sanji, and how much you like them, or hate them. I don't know.
yeah, I know there's gonna be those so-called haters of One Piece out there. So
Uh, as well as hit that subscribe button to get One Piece arc review content every Sunday, barring anything that comes up. As well as subscribe to the channel to get One Piece anime reviews from me when reviewing the current Wano arc. Yesterday we got the revelations on who Kumarasaki really is. So if you want to check that video out, check it out. So till then, guys, this is me and the Red Wolf, and we're signing out. Hopefully, you guys are having a safe, great rest of your day. So till then, guys, peace.
peace.